Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Current Economy and Investment Insights. Today is February 22nd, 2021. Paul Munichel is my co-host, and of course, he is staying his distance during the virus, and he is at home in his studio. And we're going to let him give us a update as to what took place in the marketplace for last week. And I'm Ron Jankowski with Channel 4, and I'm going to give you the current information from Ameriprise as of this morning. So I'll let Paul take it from there. Paul.
Thanks, Ron. I wanted to begin this show talking about the earnings season and how companies have been reporting. So let's go ahead and dive right into the data. Excluding just 19 companies, S&P 500 earnings per share are up 11.4% year over year in the fourth quarter. With approximately 84% of S&P 500 companies having reported their results through last Friday, the Q4 earnings release season is winding down. However, as is the case every release season, many of the nation's largest retailers are still scheduled this week and next. This week, 67 of the remaining 82 S&P 500 companies yet to report are on the schedule, including 2 that are also members of the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Now, through Friday, the S&P 500 blended earnings per share growth rate, that's actuals for those that have reported combined with estimates for those yet to report, is a positive 3.1% year over year on sales growth of 3%. Now, as mentioned in prior commentaries, the results have been broadly better than expected. On January 19th, analyst consensus estimates looked for a Q4 S&P 500 earnings per share to be down 6.9% year over year on just a 0.4% increase in sales. Additionally, if just the 13 companies comprising the energy sector, along with the nation's 5 domestic airlines and Boeing, have they removed from the mix, the aggregate S&P 500 earnings per share growth for Q4 2020 would stand at 11.4% on sales growth of positive 6.5%. As I mentioned in other commentaries, including today, these numbers are pretty staggering and much better than what were anticipated, and could be one of the reasons why we have such a strong start to the stock market for 2021. So we'll continue to watch, monitor the remaining earnings results this week, and hope for the best. Back over to you, Ron.
All right, thank you, Paul. And I'm going to give, as I mentioned, the current information as of this morning from Ameriprise. They just gave us this to share with you. U.S. stock index futures are broadly lower this morning, while the VIX is higher by nearly 10%. The yield on the 10-year Treasury moved towards a 1.38% on growth optimism for a swift economy recovery. The global stocks are weaker, and a rising bond yields could hurt high-growth companies reliant on easy borrowing. That money is going to start tightening up for the way things are going, hopefully not so. The year-to-date returns are as follows. S&P 500 is a plus 4%. The Dow Jones is a plus 3%, and the NASDAQ is a plus 7%. That's as of today, as of this morning, and we will be back with our show usually called Your Money. Paul has got a topic for the show. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. We're back with the show called Your Money. Paul usually has an excellent topic to share with you on this show, and we're going to let him take it from there. Take it away, Paul.
Okay, today in the second half of the show, I want to talk a little bit about estate planning. Now, while I am not an estate planning attorney, I'm just going to give you today some general ideas, some topics for thought. Any estate planning that you do, you will need to contact a estate planning attorney for more information. But let's go ahead and begin with some general topics for thought. You know, the COVID-19 pandemic has made Americans even more aware of the importance of planning for the unexpected. Now, while no one knows exactly what's in store for the future, one thing you can do for your loved ones is create an estate plan that expresses your wishes in the event of incapacity or death. If you're like a lot of people, you may not know where to start, but here are some 5 documents that can form the foundation of a well thought out estate plan. So, number 1, speak with your estate attorney about a last will and testament. This is the primary document that defines how you want your property and other assets to be handled. It also assigns guardians for minor children and even pets, and it provides a place where you can name your executor, and that's the person who will manage the dissolution of your estate. Your will can also include directions regarding your funeral arrangements, such as whether you prefer to be buried or cremated. A second document to consider is a power of attorney. Now, this legal document identifies an agent or person who can act on your behalf. You can choose to be very specific or very broad in the authority you assign to the power of attorney. In some cases, a different family member may be power of attorney for finances and or personal property, while another person is assigned to make decisions regarding medical care. A third document to consider may be a living will. That's also known as an advanced healthcare directive. A living will conveys your wishes regarding end-of-life medical care. It spells out the extent of life-extending care you want to receive in case you are unable to communicate these preferences for yourself. For example, you can request that medical personnel perform invasive life-saving procedures such as tube feeding if needed. Alternatively, you can put in place a do not resuscitate order and request only comfort care. The options are yours, but you need to decide and discuss it over with a professional. Number 4, review and designate your beneficiaries. Beneficiary designations identify who you wish to receive a particular asset. Now, these designations typically are made within the financial asset itself, such as life insurance policy or an investment account. It's important to keep your beneficiary designations up to date following a life change such as a marriage, divorce, death of a spouse, or maybe even birth of a child. 5th, take inventory of key documents and contacts. So once you have the top 4 legal documents in place, it's prudent to think about how your loved ones will access your accounts once you're gone. A document that lists everything from mortgages and other bills to bank accounts and insurance policies, real estate deeds, and other legal proof can be very helpful. Your executor will need access to these accounts and may need physical copies of birth certificates, marriage, divorce, and social security records. Lastly, provide complete contact information to relevant parties such as your banker, your lawyer, financial advisor, and your insurance agent. Also, possibly consider drawing up a trust. That's another topic to talk about with a licensed and certified estate attorney. Although conversations about estate planning can be difficult, they're crucial to leaving the legacy you want. So talk with a trusted financial advisor who can review your entire financial picture and determine what steps you need to take to safeguard your estate. As always, if you're working with a financial advisor, that's great. If you're looking for a second opinion to that advice you're receiving, or if you're not working with someone and you'd like to bounce some questions off an advisor, feel free to give me a call. My number directly is 708-226-3412. That's going to conclude the second half of the show for me today. So I'll send it back over to you, Ron, one last time.
Thank you, Paul, for the topic. We appreciate you sharing this with the viewers. And I'm going to say for Paul Munichel with Ameriprise Financial, myself, Ron Jankowski with Channel 4 and Palos Heights, we wish you good investment day.